Hello there. I'm going to see Last Summer. I'm up here at East 58th Street, just east of Fifth Avenue, and a block away from Central Park to go to the Paris Theater, where the film is showing. And they say that Richard Thomas is going to be there for a Q&A, I guess, after the movie. So Richard Thomas stars in the movie. And I saw the movie in 1969 when it came out. And I'll talk about the movie later after I see it. The Paris Theater up here is, I think, I don't know if the Ziegfeld is not open anymore. This might be the only single screen house theater that still exists in Manhattan, and it is now owned by Netflix, and Netflix shows a lot of their stuff in there, as well as kind of repertoire stuff. There's people waiting outside there. It's a half hour away, so I don't know what they're waiting for. I have a reserved seat, so I'm chilling. So it was nice seeing the movie again, and Richard Thomas was great. I'm going to include his comments that I took from the audience. It's not a great video and the sound isn't great, but what he had to say was I thought was really good about the other actors and about himself, and how it was kid acting when he did that. So the movie is the original novel was written by Evan Hunter, and there's a sequel. Fortunately, they mentioned the sequel. Larry Karaszewski is the main mover of getting this project on the going again. Apparently the movie was kind of vanished for many, many years, so a lot of young people probably are not going to know about Last Summer. They probably have never seen it or heard of it, because it's been kind of missing for 40 years, according to him. Anyway, they found it, and this is a restoration. When Richard Thomas was talking, he said that they shot the movie on an Aeroflex in 16 millimeter, and that all the sound was looped afterwards. So it was basically shot as a silent movie, and it looks like an indie. It's not a big time Hollywood movie. It was shot on Ocean Beach, which is one of the islands in Fire Island chain, I guess. I've never been out there, so I don't know. So yeah, Evan Hunter was kind of big in the juvenile delinquents world, in that he wrote The Blackboard Jungle, which is one of the primary juvenile delinquent books and movies that came out in 1957. So it was Rock Around the Clock and all juvenile delinquencies and Vic Morrow and all that. So it's interesting that Last Summer is also a juvenile delinquent movie, but much different. It's not the urban juvenile delinquency that you see in the school in Blackboard Jungle, but it's the delinquency of privileged suburban kids who are in divorces, alcoholic parents, and all that kind of stuff. So it expands juvenile delinquency into the real place where it really belongs, with the privileged, and it's not just the poor and all that. The privileged are also involved in juvenile delinquency. So, and it involves these three characters, played by Bruce Davidson, um, Richard Thomas and Barbara Hershey, and they meet a fourth person played by Catherine Burns, who's kind of a nerdy girl who they tease and make fun of, and then kind of let into the thing, and then she is involved with the central crime of the whole thing, which is, you know, the real delinquency. You know, they do just bad things all through. They're like they're not great kids. Like they do a computer dating thing where they lure this Puerto Rican guy out to the island, and you know, get him really drunk, and he ends up getting beat up by the by other island people who were chasing them around before. So anyway, I think I'll just let Richard Thomas make his comments. And you know, it was interesting seeing the movie. I'm not really great on seeing movies in movie theaters anymore. I would prefer to just watch them at home, but this was good. The Paris was a good deal. You know, I bought the tickets online, and they were only $15, and they were $15 and only $15. There was no like $2 fee added to the $15 or whatever that you usually get when you do online purchases. It was just flat out $15, and that's what it was. So it was all a good thing, and I had a good time at the Paris Theater. And now we're in with the barn swallows, this little tunnel. So we'll post this, and you know, you can watch Richard Thomas's comments, and maybe I'll caption them or something if they're hard to understand. Thank you for watching.
Hey, how are you?
Well,
You're a very bad person.
Mark Twain once said, "There is rest and healing in the contemplation of antiquities." It's like showing baby pictures.
That's exactly right. Well, you actually look the same, so
Wow.
you still look like Richard Thomas. Give us your first impression of that.
Well,
You have not seen it since
I haven't seen it since it. First of all, thank you all for coming. I'm so excited to see so many people who wanted to come see this picture, which was a huge part of my life, our lives, all of us. You know, no, I haven't set eyes on it since it was released. It's a very emotional experience for me to see it.
Well, how did it play? Did you remember it all? Was it shocking? Was it still coming back to you?
I remember a lot of it. You know, I mean, it was a very intense summer we spent on Fire Island making that picture, and we were very bonded, all of us. And it was all very raw, and there was a lot of improvisation, and I'm looking at it now, and I think, you know, wow, it really was very bold, and unvarnished, and wonderfully raw and rough, and immediate, I think. I mean, it's baby acting, so it's, you know, it's baby acting. But as long as I could keep focusing on the other actors, it was fine. I enjoyed it.
Do you remember how you got the part?
I do, actually. We went, I think I had an audition, and then Frank and Eleanor, I think they had picked like a couple of different sets of kids. And I don't know if Bruce or Barbara will corroborate this, because, you know, it's like, I mean, it's been a while. But we were asked to come in and play the scene when they're in the lean-to, talking about the
truth serum.
Snot, you know, the truth serum story. So we improvised that, and he worked with us on that, and then another bunch of kids came in and did it, and we waited, and then they hired us. Right. And we were, I think we were sort of pretty much we booked it as a group.
Interesting. Yeah, I mean, it's interesting that they picked that scene because that scene really cements you guys as friends, and
Yes.
it feels so real. I was going to ask you how that actually occurred, the friendship you.
Well,
have.
it was great, and we were very comfortable with each other. And it's interesting, I didn't work with Barbara again. We never had that opportunity, but Bruce and I worked several times together after that. And Catherine and I worked several times together after that. We made a movie right after that.
It's Red Sky.
Red Sky, another great lost movie. Get to work.
One at a time.
And Catherine and I, who were very, very close friends. What about that performance, huh? What about that performance? What an exquisite performance. And but we went on to work together on stage and in film, and so did Bruce and I.
Yeah.
So we were very close, and it brought us very close.